Let's take you to what we're running in studio. Airports company South Africa will invest over 21 billion rand in airport infrastructure developments in the next 5 years. The company provided an update on the rollout of some of the maintenance projects at its airport network. It has already rolled out some projects at the country's major airports, including OR Tambo International Airport. SABC News Economics reporter Nosipho Radebe joins us in studio for more. Nosipho, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming in this evening. A lot was said as this media briefing was underway, but we know that after all its operational mishaps in December last year, AXA has been under enormous pressure when it comes to infrastructure. What was said at the conference about that?
Yeah, sure. Evening, Paul, and to the viewers at home. So it was a technical brief that we got from AXA today, just outlining then the update progress report on what's been the maintenance work, what have they done so far to stabilize as well as modernize their airports network. We know there's around 9 airports that they operate, but we got a sense from the AXA CEO, Nosipho, that they've now turned a financial corner. She mentioning that in this, at least the third quarter of this financial year, they've already made 1 billion rand profit before tax, and that follows, of course, in the 2023 to 2024 financial year, the profit that they had also made there around 472, following the previous year in which they had actually made a financial loss of around 466 million rand. So looking good financially, but also just reiterating that some of the maintenance and replacement sort of work that had to take place, that was delayed as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, but that's now underway, dividing the airports then in various clusters. When we look at cluster 1, OR Tambo International Airport, that falling under that cluster, work already there underway. She pointed out the work that we're seeing with the escalators. As an example, they've also isolated the ablution blocks. That's something that they're looking towards maintaining and refurbishing. And then also the passenger loading bridges. So that's in terms of the work there. And then in cluster 2 as well, we're looking then at terminal roofs that will be refurbished. So work there on track is a sense that we got from the CEO. We know some of the tasks, the projects, they'll be completed towards the end of this year, and some further out, the dates further out, 2027. So over the next couple of years, we're going to be seeing a lot of work essentially at the airports operated by AXA. A lot of work to ensure then, a better experience then for passengers, as also ensuring then operational efficiency, given then those mishaps that you pointed out earlier.
And there were more. I mean, jet fuel capacity, that in itself was a massive talking point. We saw supply challenges earlier this year, and the ripple effects, the impact that had when it comes to operations there.
Yeah, certainly. And the AXA CEO, Nosipho, again pointing out that with the jet fuel supply issue, that was out of their hands, given then that we saw the closure of that refinery, which led then to the constraints that they experienced, which they had, of course, outlined, that they were trying to, put in contingency plans, ensure then that they do have this supply. But from the briefing today, we got an understanding that they're looking then at building up capacity. So from the 10 days that they have, to adding 5 more days to ensure then that there's an adequate supply of jet fuel, given then now that we are sort of looking to import more jet fuel than actually refining it then at the refinery. So improving then capacity is a major issue then, or something that they're looking at quite closely, and that's also something that will be rolled out over the years and ensured then obviously that it's adequately supplied for.
Very well. Thank you so much for coming in studio and speaking to us. Of course, the conversation expands. SABC News reporter, economics reporter, Nosipho Radebe there, giving us a sense of what came out of the conference.